Buying an EV SUV right now should be exciting. The technology has come a long way. Ranges are longer, charging is faster, and the options are better than they've ever been. But that growth has also created a problem. Too many manufacturers rushed products to the market before they were ready. And in the EV space, that's not just an inconvenience, it's a financial risk. Because here's what most buyers don't realize until it's too late. EV reliability doesn't come down to horsepower numbers or how good the interior looks in photos. It comes down to 4 things: battery cooling design, software maturity, charging platform stability, and production history. Those 4 factors will determine whether EV SUV is a dream to own or a nightmare to live with. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which SUV fails, have those tests, and which ones pass them. Let's get into it. The worst EV SUVs. Chevrolet Blazer EV. Strong specs, rough launch. On paper, the Blazer EV looks like a serious contender. Good range numbers, bold styling, competitive pricing. GM put a lot of marketing muscle behind this one, but what happened at launch told a very different story. The Blazer EV's rollout was plagued with software failures that are serious enough for GM to actually pause sales shortly after. Customers who had already taken delivery reported charging system glitches, cars that simply refused to charge properly, sometimes stopping mid-session with no clear explanation. Over-the-air update issues made things worse. Instead of fixes arriving seamlessly like they do on more mature platforms, some owners found that updates created new problems rather than solving existing ones. To be fair, this is not necessarily a bad car for the long term. GM has pushed out fixes, and later production units came off the line in better shape. But here's the hard truth. When you're spending $50,000 or more on a vehicle, you shouldn't be an early adopter dealing with software that wasn't ready. Early reliability concerns matter because they reflect the maturity of the platform underneath. And with the Blazer EV, that platform still needs more time to prove itself. If you're considering one, at minimum, wait for a 2026 model year unit with documented software updates already applied, and buy from a dealer who can show you the service history. Cadillac Lyriq. Premium price, early tech issues. The Lyriq is a genuinely striking vehicle. Walk up to one and it looks every bit the luxury EV it's priced as. But looks and luxury come at a cost here, and not just the sticker price. Early production Lyriqs developed a reputation for infotainment instability. Owners reported screens freezing, systems requiring resets, and software bugs that surfaced in ways you simply don't expect from a $60,000+ vehicle. The electronic architecture in the Lyriq is complex. GM packed a lot of technology into this cabin, and the Lyriq is that complex. And the problem is that the complex systems need time in real-world miles to get properly sorted. The Lyriq launched before that sorting was complete. Think of it this way. The Lyriq is a high-tech SUV that arrived at the party slightly before it was fully dressed. The hardware underneath is capable. The design is genuinely impressive. But software maturity is everything in an EV. And the Lyriq's early production run revealed that the software wasn't quite there yet. Later builds have shown improvement, and GM has addressed several of the reported issues through updates. But if you're shopping for a Lyriq, make sure you're looking at a later production unit and test every system thoroughly before you sign anything. Toyota bZ4X, Subaru Solterra. Charging and range concerns. These two share a platform, share a problem, and deserve to be discussed together. The bZ4X and its Subaru twin, the Solterra, are not unsafe vehicles. They're not poorly built. Toyota and Subaru know how to put a car together. But in the EV space, being well built isn't enough on its own, and that's exactly where these two fall short. The DC fast charging speeds on both vehicles are noticeably slower than rivals at the same price range, where competitors are pulling 150 kilowatts, 200 kilowatts, or even 350 kilowatts at fast chargers. The bZ4X tops out in a way that makes long road trips genuinely inconvenient. That's a real-world ownership issue, not just a spec sheet comparison. Toyota's battery management strategy is also extremely conservative. The conservatism does protect long-term battery health, and Toyota deserves credit for that. But it comes at the cost of usable range and charging performance in everyday situations. Owners who expected competitive fast charging speeds have consistently expressed frustration with what they got in reality. Again, not an unsafe choice, and not a choice that will fall apart on you. But in 2026, with genuinely excellent alternatives available at similar price points, paying the same money for a less competitive charging experience is hard to justify. You're not getting a bad car, you're just getting a less comparable ownership experience than you should be. Before we continue toward the best EV SUVs, make sure to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the latest content. The best EV SUVs. Tesla Model Y, proven platform with massive fleet data. Love or hate Tesla, the Model Y has earned its place at the top of the EV SUV conversation through something no marketing campaign can fake: real-world data from millions of vehicles actually being driven. This is one of the most widely owned EV SUVs on the planet. That matters enormously because it means Tesla has collected an extraordinary amount of data on how these batteries perform, how the drivetrain ages, and where problems tend to appear. The result is a continuous cycle of software updates that genuinely improve the car over time. Battery longevity trends on the Model Y are strong. Drivetrain reliability holds up well as mileage climbs. The charging infrastructure is also simply the best available. Tesla's supercharger network is faster, more reliable, and more widely distributed than any competing charging network. That's not brand loyalty talking. It's a consistent real-world advantage that Model Y owners experience every single time they travel. Build quality has historically been a valid criticism of Tesla, and it's fair to mention it. Panel gaps and interior finish have been inconsistent at times. But here's what matters more for long-term ownership. The drivetrain is strong. The battery is strong. The software is mature. And that combination is what keeps a car on the road reliably past 100,000 miles. If you want the least amount of uncertainty in your EV SUV purchase in 2026, the Model Y's production history makes it one of the safest bets in the category. Hyundai Ioniq 5. Excellent charging architecture. The Ioniq 5 is built on Hyundai's eGMP platform, and that platform comes with one standout technical advantage that changes the ownership experience in a meaningful way: 800-volt fast charging architecture. Most EVs on the market use a 400-volt system. The Ioniq 5 uses 800 volts. In practical terms, that means dramatically faster charging at compatible stations. We're talking about adding over 60 miles of range in roughly 5 minutes at a capable charger. For anyone who does road trips regularly, that's not a gimmick. That's a fundamental improvement in how the car fits into real life. Beyond charging, the Ioniq 5's thermal battery management system is well engineered. The battery stays in a healthy temperature range more consistently than on many competitors, which matters for both daily performance and long-term battery health. The drivetrain is efficient. The platform has accumulated enough real-world miles to demonstrate that it's genuinely reliable, not just impressive on a spec sheet. It's a well-rounded package: good range, excellent charging capability, strong thermal management, and a distinctive design that stands out in a crowded segment. The Ioniq 5 is one of the easiest recommendations in this entire category. Kia EV6. Same platform, sportier execution. The EV6 sits on the same eGMP platform as the Ioniq 5. That means it shares all of the charging advantages and drivetrain reliability that make the Ioniq 5 such a strong recommendation. But the EV6 wraps the platform in a more driver-focused package. Where the Ioniq 5 leans into comfort and interior space, the EV6 leans into handling and performance. The driving dynamics are noticeably sharper. The exterior stylings is more aggressive. For buyers who want an EV that's genuinely fun to drive without sacrificing long-term ownership confidence, the EV6 hits that combination better than almost anything else in the segment. The reliability trend on the EV6 has been consistently positive. Kia's 7-year warranty coverage backs that up with something tangible: the charging platform. As with the Ioniq 5, is one of the fastest in the class. If you're torn between the Ioniq 5 and the EV6, it comes down to priorities. More space and comfort, go to Ioniq 5. More driving engagement, go EV6. Either way, you're buying into one of the most proven EV platforms currently available. Volkswagen ID.4, matured into a stable platform. The ID.4 had a rocky start. Early software was genuinely frustrating. Slow infotainment responses, connectivity issues, features that didn't work the way they were supposed to. If you ask someone about the ID.4 in 2021, there was a good chance they had a complaint about the software. But here's what changed. Volkswagen listened, updated, and improved. The ID.4 in its current form is a substantially better vehicle than it was at launch. The software matured. The battery management strategy is conservative in a way that actually benefits long-term ownership. VW's approach to protecting battery capacity has proven to be effective. Real-world usability has improved significantly. The ID.4 is not a flashy vehicle. It doesn't have the fastest charging speeds in this group. It won't win any awards for excitement, but what it offers is dependable, predictable, everyday transportation. And in the EV SUV space, that is genuinely valuable. It's a family-sized electric SUV that has found its footing after a difficult launch. And it's now a stable, sensible platform that will serve most buyers well. For anyone who prioritizes reliability and long-term ownership confidence over cutting-edge specs, the current ID.4 deserves serious consideration. How to choose between them. Here's the part most comparison videos skip. Specs and price are not how you should be making this decision. Start with your daily commute. If you're driving under 50 miles a day and charging at home overnight, range anxiety isn't your problem. If you're regularly covering 200+ miles in a day, charging speed becomes critical, and that pushes you firmly toward the Ioniq 5 or EV6. Think about your climate. If you're in a region with harsh winters, battery efficiency drops significantly in cold weather. Vehicles with better thermal management systems, the Ioniq 5 and EV6 in particular, handle cold weather more gracefully than others. Consider your charging access. If you have reliable home charging, almost all of these options work. If you're dependent on public charging networks, the Model Y supercharger access is a genuine advantage that's hard to match. Factor in your family needs. If you have 3 kids and regular school runs, interior space and practical cargo room matter as much as range. If it's just you and a partner doing daily commuting, a sportier, more driver-focused option like the EV6 makes more sense. And finally, think about your driving style. If you want something engaging, the EV6 is the pick. If you want effortless and refined, the Model Y or Ioniq 5. If you want dependable and low stress, the ID.4 does that job quietly and well. The best EV SUV isn't the one with the longest range or the fastest 0 to 60. It's the one that fits your actual life. The EV market in 2026 is better than it's ever been, but it still rewards buyers who do their homework, take the time, ask the right questions, and make sure whatever you're buying fits how you actually live, not just how it looks on a spec sheet. Drop a comment below. Which of these SUVs surprised you most? And if this breakdown helped, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.